Hello, I'm making this video because I made a pretty big mistake in my previous video. In that video, I show you how you can be more fuel efficient when you're cooking flint in a campfire. But then in the second part of the video, I show off this thing where I called it, because I don't have a better name for it, I called it the min-max method or whatever, so that you can have like, what is this, like 26 fire pits on your screen at the same time. And it just lets you be ever so slightly more efficient with your calcinated cooking. Now, as Mr. Mutant Gamer pointed out in the comments of that video, this does not work in survival mode. So in creative mode, I can open up all these screens and blah, 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 and stand like pretty far away. It's like a pretty far away. But when you go into survival mode, it goes away. Because I've completely forgot how limited the range of the GUI is in survival mode. I just completely blinked, got too caught up like trying to do R&D in this in creative mode, and I've just been in creative mode too long that like I completely forgot to like consider this in survival, and that's just like such a huge issue. So this one doesn't work, so I wanted to correct that, but then to also help correct it, I did make a version that does work in survival mode, thanks to the help with Mr. Mutant Gamer in the comments as well. So I'm putting myself into survival mode, and to build this working version, you're going to want to make a 9x6 area. So there's just 9 in this direction, 6 in this area. Technically, you don't need to bother with these corner pieces, but it doesn't matter. And every spot on the orange here is where we're gonna place a campfire. Also, the block I'm using to place these campfire downs is a creative mode version of the block. Just obviously make the campfire like normal as you would in survival. And then we will start opening up these menus. And you're gonna wanna stand where I have this purple block designated. And this should get you, I believe, 25 fire pits. And then you're going to want to look down and go into third person mode. And then there you go. There's all your fire pit menus. And then you do the same method as before, as always. So we'll put our 3P in this front campfire. We'll put that in there. And then we'll take our torch and aim towards the fire pit and light it up. There you go. Oh, whoops. How did this campfire get closed? Reopen that up. And let's put in our charcoal once the peat has finished. Also, something I should have mentioned in the last one. So, because I kept using the measurement of like 5 stacks to get my numbers, like cooking 5 stacks in one session. So, you can, with just 3 peat, 4 charcoal, you can cook 5 stacks of calcinated flint. You could probably even get away with 6 stacks of calcinated flint with just the 4 charcoal 3 peat. And then as we do, once it gets to 1,000, just pick it up, put it back down. And honestly, I don't think you need to wait for it to get to that much higher temperature. Like, we can already just pick it up again and start just dropping it into every single other fire pit here, one at a time. We can even drop it back into that one. When we're no longer have any stacks cooking. I forgot, I need to look down a lot more. There you go. But yeah, you just keep placing them. It is a bit awkward with the menus. And there we go. All the flint is going to be cooked up. Also, you do need immersive mouse mode for that. So go into settings, interface, and just check on immersive mouse mode. Also, I do want to note for those that don't know, you can actually cook flint in a bloomery. So if you already have, so you can fill this up to 24 flint, and then you just put in the charcoal. It's gonna use up more fuel than this efficient method, but it's still better than doing the normal way. It will cook 24 flint for you in the background. You don't need to micromanage it, but it will take 10 hours in game for it to cook, and it will use up more of your fuel. So if you really care about being efficient with your fuel, and if you really want the calcinated flint like as soon as possible, then this method is still a decent alternative. I will also mention There is a mod called Better Fire Pit that essentially makes it so that the temperature of stacks don't reset. So if you have no issue using mods, then there's that mod that exists. And I do want to visually show the side-by-side comparison test with the normal method and this more min-max efficient method, like I did in the previous video, but now with the actual working min-max method. Also, I want to say two things. Yes, at the beginning of the previous video that I'm correcting this on, I did say 16 fire pits when I was supposed to say 18 fire pits at the start of the video. Whoopsie, I misspeak sometimes or say the wrong number. And then two, I do not claim to have come up with this method. I was originally shown this method by my partner, and the only method I quote-unquote came up with is the thing on the right that did not work. And then the thing on the left of this correction is kind of a mixture of Mr. Mutant Gamer and me, kind of. I don't know exactly how they did their fix, but they figured out a fix. They explained it as surrounding yourself in campfires. They told me about looking down third person and stuff. I think I went a different approach with this grid thing instead of a complete circle. I don't know how they did it, but this one I'm calling a collaboration between us. The one that doesn't work is 100% me doing badly. And then the first method, or the first version of this method, I don't know. I don't know who technically came up with first. Probably so many people came to that conclusion on their own at some point. And that's all I have to share. Hopefully I didn't miss anything this time, or overlooked something this time, or messed something up. So sorry about that. And thank you so much for watching as always. And hopefully I'll see you in a future video. Bye.